Hi, welcome back to Dawn Digs In. Today we are going to talk about catastrophizing. Now, what is catastrophizing? Catastrophizing is when you turn everything into a mountain. It could be the simplest of things and you blow it completely out of proportion. And you can use this in many different areas of your life. Now, this word just came to my attention in the last few weeks. So I have been using it a lot and I've really found it helps me put a lot of things in perspective that maybe I may be blowing up, especially when it comes to my health and fitness routine. How many times have you said to yourself, oh my gosh, I didn't work out today. Now I've blown everything out of proportion and now it's like I'm never going to lose that couple pounds or I'm never going to be where I want to be because I missed a workout. When in reality, did that really change your life? Are you going to think about that a month from now, a year from now, that moment in time changed everything for you? I don't think so, but we do this a lot. And this is not just for people on a huge weight loss transformation. This is for all of us. Anybody that has been on a journey to try and live their best life has catastrophized. And if you haven't, good on you, good on you. But most of us will take that way and blame everything except what the problem is. Now, one of the things about catastrophizing is we just turn it into something crazy. Oh my gosh, I went out for lunch with friends and I had a little bite off Susie's plate and I had a drink and now I've just ruined everything and there's just no point starting over. I'll do it next month. Great example of catastrophizing. How do you work around that? Now, the first thing you have to think about with catastrophizing is it really as bad as you think it is? Because most of the time, it is not. And as I said, I can put this into many areas of my life. You can put this into problems at work. You can put it into problems at home. You can put it into problems with the kids. You can put it into the kids won't go to sleep at night. There's many areas of your life that you can catastrophize. But if we learn a few skills, we can be really ready to accept and better to say to ourselves, hey, not today. I am not going to catastrophize this situation. So when we do catastrophize, we can get extremely anxious. We get ourselves all worked up. We can get depressed. A lot of things can happen when you do this. So it's really important that we try to stop in the moment and think about how bad this problem is. If I miss one workout, is it really going to affect me? Can I get on track tomorrow? If I blew one meal, can I get on track the next meal? Does it really mean the end of my journey or is it just a little stumbling block? Because life is a journey and all of these things as far as food and exercise come and go. I've talked about ebbs and flows many times and your life will ebb and flow. You will have times when your eating is great, it's totally on point, you have no issues. And then you will have times where you eat everything in sight, right? You're sneaking the stuff, you're hiding it, you're digging into the bag of chips. I know because I do this all the time. But it doesn't mean it's still not a great journey. It just means that we all have little things that make us imperfect because this journey is not perfect and will never be perfect. And the ones that make it perfect, I really don't feel can make it last. You want to do the best you can do with the tools you have to work with and what is going on in your brain. You know, this is where it all starts. It all starts up here. If we can get ourselves into a place where we're not catastrophizing and we're just saying to ourselves, okay, why is this so bad? I missed my workout this morning, but hey, can I go for a walk tonight? Can I hop on the treadmill for 15 minutes? Can I just do something quick? You will feel so much better about yourself. It's not about missing a day at the gym. It's about doing something to keep your body moving. Life is about keeping your body moving. Life is not about going to the gym every day or having strenuous workouts every day. It is about movement. So instead of catastrophizing and saying to yourself, I've blown it, I'm never going to be thin, I'm never going to hit the number I want to reach, I'm never going to fit into that dress for the wedding, or whatever it is you're wanting to, what can you say to yourself to keep this from happening? When you recognize these catastrophic thoughts, what can you say to yourself? What about this situation is so terrible? Have I dealt with similar situations in the past? And if so, did I survive and how did I survive? Was it life-threatening or morally threatening? Those are more important to me than anything else to catastrophize. If it's not life-threatening or morally threatening, I usually feel I'm pretty okay with it. And what did you do to ease that difficult situation? You also need to say to yourself, how will I feel about this next week or next month? And is this really going to make a change in my life? Or is it just a momentary thing that I'm just overreacting to? When I think back, say 5 years ago, what I was most concerned about in my health and fitness goals and what I feel now, it's not as important. 5 years ago, I wanted to lose 40 pounds. I lost that 40 pounds and I have continued to keep a good weight ever since then. So I'm no longer catastrophizing over losing the 40 pounds, nor did I at the time. It was just a process. But if you are one of those people that just turns every little thing into a catastrophe, you need to learn to get it under control by saying these things to yourself. How can I make this better? Is it really as bad as I think it is? You also need to say to yourself, am I the only one going through this? Am I the only one in the world that has this problem? Because most likely you are not. And is it as bad as I really think it is? There are a lot of people a lot worse off than where you are at. How many people are facing something even worse? How do you think they manage to move beyond it and do positive things for their health? And what does that tell you about how you may be able to handle the current situation you're in? I want you to take some time to think about what you honestly have going on in your health. Jot it down. Get out your journal. What are the positives about where you are right now in your healthy journey? You have to have some positives. If you're at the beginning, that's your first positive. I have started. Starting is the first step. You have to start. You have to make a decision that you are going to start. What positive experience in health and fitness have you had? What steps can you take to improve your fitness journey more? Consider the parts of your health and fitness that you take for granted and be grateful that you can do as much as you can do. Today with social media, it's so easy to look at your influencers and see that they have these amazing bodies and these amazing workouts. And with all the smoke and mirrors, you really know most of that's not true. There's filters, they're sucking in, there's different clothes that give them the look they want, there's different angles in photography. It's not all realistic. And again, these people work out a lot. This is not a one and done. They live to work out. They live to create this body that they have. So if that is not in the cards for you, that you do not have hours and hours to spend in the gym, then you have to find a happy medium of what will work for you. What weight are you happy at? What muscle building do you want to do? How do you honestly want your body to look? And 99% of that time, it comes down to your diet. And don't think for a second that these influencers don't catastrophize, because I'm sure they do. They gain a couple pounds and they're like, oh my goodness, what am I going to do? How am I going to get this off? They deal with the same thing. This isn't a one-time thing. We all deal with it in different ways. It's just handling it. How are they going to get around it? Okay, they gained a little bit. Now they need to work on their diet. They need to be a little more on point to get back where they want to be. And it really is difficult to maintain something that people see every single day when it's a lot of work. When you look in the mirror, what do you see? I know what I see is totally different from what other people see. And it's not necessarily a bad thing, but what would other people say about you? You know, when you look in the mirror or you take that picture yourself, then look at that picture. Cut off your head and just look at that picture. Are you happy with what you see? Is there anything wrong with what you see? Is that the figure that you want to have? Because a lot of times we knock ourselves down for reasons that really are unnecessary. We beat ourselves up and go, oh my goodness, I've got this little bit here and I don't like it. And I can tell you, really honestly, that the other week I was sitting on the couch and I grabbed my muffin top and I was appalled. And I'm going to show you because this is ridiculous and I catastrophize this. And I do not honestly have a problem with where I am at, but it's not necessarily where I want to be. So I stood up and I did this. Now, seriously, is this something that I should be worrying about? Not. Everybody has a role when they sit down. Everybody. It's impossible to not have something. So me doing that was ridiculous. I catastrophized that moment and said, oh my God, what am I going to do? I need to get my Spanx on. Why is this sticking out? I can't have this hanging over my pants. I need some higher waisted pants. That's catastrophizing. I do it. I also am really working hard since I learned what this was to talk to myself and tell myself, am I being realistic? Am I being realistic for the weight I'm at, the age I'm at, and the health I'm in? Because I am not being realistic in any way, shape, or form. Just catastrophize away. That's where I went. So by becoming aware of the cognitive distortion, catastrophize, you will be able to consider other perspectives, which can help reduce the belief that this situation is terrible or hopeless. By feeling better and more confident, you will effectively manage the situation and be less likely to go off the deep end. And going off the deep end could be eating copious quantities of food, just saying to heck with it, and drinking, or whatever it is that you do to combat a problem for yourself. By feeling better and more confident. My hope is that by recognizing this thinking, because now it has been brought to my attention that I do catastrophize and I do have this way of thinking, that I can be more likely to respond to a problem skillfully and use my tools, my not today tools, with less emotional pain. So if you find yourself catastrophizing, think about it. Take a step back. Is it really as bad as you think it is? Is it just one meal? Is it just one workout? Get back on track. Life is a journey. If you're enjoying our channel, please hit like and subscribe. I really enjoy talking to you and hearing about what workouts you're doing and how things are affecting your life. And if you catastrophize, let me know. What do you catastrophize about? Because it can make you crazy. So until I see you next week, I hope you have some amazing workouts. You are awesome. High five.